How's it going, guys? My name is David Bartlett, and this is my script analysis assessment for my public speaking class. And for my script, I chose to analyze To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So here we go. In Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, Scout and Jem Finch witness the demise of Tom Robinson, who becomes a victim of cruel prejudice in the American town of Macomb. As they grew up and witnessed the racial divisions within the town, they became exposed to a range of perspectives that primarily focus on the different forms of prejudice. Their father, Atticus, who defends Tom Robinson in court, has a significant impact upon the children as they observe his steadfast defense of his convictions. Culprina, the family's domestic helper, exposes the children to the difficulties faced by the African Americans as they confront racial prejudice on a daily basis. Mr. Arthur Radley, or Boo, also teaches them the dangers associated with stereotyping individuals based on hearsay. All these mentors emphasize the importance of simple kindness. Atticus Finch, the children's father, succeeds in teaching Scout and Jem a valuable lesson about courage and moral strength. Atticus displays integrity by defending Tom Robinson. When Atticus explains why he takes a case of Tom Robinson, he says to Scout, "If I couldn't hold up my head and turn, I couldn't represent this country in the legislature. I couldn't even tell you or Jem not to do something again." Atticus impresses upon the children that courage is not a man with a gun in his hand, or any form of physical strength. Atticus wishes for Scout and Jem to aspire to more courage, and he shows the children that courage is to defend their principles. When Atticus shoots the dog with rabies, Lee points out that a gun should only be used as a last resort. Lee draws attention to the fact that physical strength, which is also evident whenever the feisty Scout uses her fists, is not true strength. Even when her cousin calls her father a N-word lover, Scout learns that she must hold her head high and must control her temper. Jem also learns that he must not respond to accusations of N-word lover by Miss DeVos. At the very end, Atticus leads by example and stands with his head high and fist down. And through this example, he shows why it is a sin to kill a mockingbird. Secondly, Culprina exposed the children to first-hand experiences of African American prejudice, to the disadvantages that they endure from the socially superior white people at the time that it was seen. This is particularly apparent when they visit Culprina's church. Scout is shocked that they don't use Heinem books, and Lee uses the lack of books as a symbol to show their Negroes' illiterate status. Scout later asks Culprina why they don't save for Hyman books, and Culprina laughed and said, "Wouldn't do any good, they can't read." This enforces their disconnection and exclusion from society because of their lack of education. Scout also notices that the church is bare and lacks a piano or an organ. Lee uses the emptiness as a church as a symbol of poverty-stricken situation of African Americans. It is this downtrodden status, Lee suggests, that contribute to the miscarriage of justice in Tom's case. The jury members prosecute Tom Robinson with one iota of medical evidence, and on the basis of two unworthy witness statements, Atticus' stance and dedication to the case of Tom Robinson also directly challenges the bigoted views that doom the Negroes to perpetual disadvantage. Together, Atticus and Culprina convey the message to the children that it is easy to abuse people who are inferior and lack a voice. Lee depicts the Awels as a socially disadvantaged people who have a tendency to belittle those beneath them. If Awel seems unable to change, the Negroes, by contrast, struggle to find work and despite their efforts. In addition, while the Negroes in church do not have much money, they all support each other by raising $10 for Helen Robinson. With slight pressure by Reverend Sykes, this display the close-knit community of the Negroes and how they support each other in times of need, even though they do not have much to give. Furthermore, Boo Radley's benevolent presence teaches the children not to judge a person based on rumors and not to discriminate against the disabled. Scout and Jem's personal experiences with Boo help them dispel the bigoted views about those with a disability. The constant and consistent acts of kindness from Boo, such as folding Jem's pants and leaving them for him on his fence, leaving them as gifts in the tree hole such as chewing gum and an old watch, soap carvings, and other trinkets. Reveals that Boo is a very misjudged and gentle person. As Jem notes, our biggest prize was a pocket watch that wouldn't run on a chain with an aluminum knife. These gifts make the children aware that Boo is watching them affectionately. Jem shows his appreciation towards Boo and the gifts by placing a thank you letter in the tree. Boo's brother, Mr. Radley, who Coprina describes as the meanest man ever God blew breath into, fills a hole with cement because of the dying tree, which reflects a heartless attitude. The rumor surrounding Boo as a dangerous, horrific ghost is proved unjust when he risks his own life to save Scout and Jem from a violent clutches of Baba Ewell. Boo not only rescues them both, but he also carries Jen home to be nursed back to health. Lee uses the symbolism of a mockingbird to reflect the view that it is a sin to judge or kill unfairly something that is innocent, harmless, or vulnerable, and brings joy to others. Boo and Tom Robinson can be equated with mockingbirds, though first-hand experiences and the guidance of a significant role models such as Atticus, Coprina, Boo Radley, Harper Lee depicts a personal growth of both Scout and Jem. She realizes that they grow through their first-hand experiences with the victims of both racial and social prejudice. These role models highlight the importance of courage, education, and kindness, and they encourage Scout and Jem to see past social and racial barriers.